everybody. Welcome once again to another one of our virtual events. We are still in Women's History Month, and we have an amazing speaker today, our very own CTC Department Chair of the Health Sciences, Tammy Samarripa. And she is well loved by everyone. So, we're going to have a good time. Before we get started, I just want to remind you that if you need attendance credit, make sure that you go to our library website, find events, and click on and register for the event. So we're going to get started. So please welcome Miss Tammy Samarripa. Yay! Take it away.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. Thank you for the introduction. I think before we get started, I do want to send out a big thank you to all of my healthcare professionals and public safety colleagues and teammates that have sacrificed themselves, their families through COVID-19, just to care for our community and our country during this time. So I do want to send out a big thank you. In April, we'll be celebrating Healthcare Professionals Week, and my department's going to celebrate that as well with our faculty and students. And our motto this year is Heroes Training Heroes. And it's so fitting because they either are or they will be heroes in the healthcare profession. And so we're super excited about being able to celebrate that with our faculty and our students. And so anyhow, wow, what a time this is to be a department chair of a health science department during a health pandemic. It's been interesting. So many challenges, and I will tell you, so much growth has occurred for me over the past few years, and especially in this past year of COVID and working with our faculty and our students and our community on top of that. But behind every great leader or inspiring leader, you have this wonderful team of individuals that they bring in their own qualities, they have their own expertise, and they put their trust in you, and they give you that courage every day. And my team are heroes, and I could not be more grateful or appreciative to them. And they have really had to step up this past year, and just so grateful and appreciative to them. So great job, guys, if you're out there listening. And so you asked me to share a little bit about myself and what brought me here to this point in my life. And gosh, so many things. I can't keep you guys all day long. So I've had to kind of condense it because there's been so much and so many things that have impacted me in my life and have brought me to this seat here over the years. And so I would have to tell you that my perspective is that God would not give me more than what I can handle. And so I know my limitations, and I know that he's pushed me pretty close to a breaking point, but there is that drive to overcome those things. And so I do see people as masterpieces in progress. Everybody that I encounter, I look at them as masterpieces, and I look at it like a tapestry. And tapestries are beautiful. They're all woven differently, and they're all have different color yarns and have different features that make them so special and so beautiful. And so I do look at people like masterpieces and tapestry and progresses because they all are so interesting. They have different perspectives, upbringings, influences, preferences, ideas, talents. I mean, these are all things that are like woven together to make this person who they are today. And I too am a tapestry. I see myself as a masterpiece in progress. And there's a really good song out there by Danny Goki, and it's called Masterpiece. And I encourage all of you that are listening after this, if you have just 5 minutes, YouTube it or something and see how beautiful of a song it is. And it talks about how you've been kind of put together and all these things that have happened in your life that have brought you to how God sees you as a masterpiece. And so it is a beautiful, inspiring song. And I encourage all of you that are working to be inspired today and through this women's series that you check it out and listen to it. It really is a good song. But in talking about my tapestry, there are a lot of titles that I have carried throughout my lifetime that have woven my tapestry. Child of God, daughter, sister. I'm an aunt to two beautiful little girls, volunteer, mother of two amazing boys, a wife, an ex-wife, girlfriend, friend, best friend, healthcare provider. I'm an educator, colleague. Now I'm a supervisor. And so there's even titles that I don't even know I have that apparently I have. So we'll kind of see, but all of these have contributed to who I am today. Each have their own story and how they've impacted my life. And so my plan is just to give you a quick snapshot into my life and some of the things that I learned at those points in my life. I think the first one I wanted to mention was being raised in the military as a military child for a part of my life. That taught me discipline. And so the discipline that I carry today is something that I picked up when I was younger. And it was just being a military child and understanding the routine and the discipline that comes with that. And so I would say the discipline trait in my life came from being a military child. Being raised in the church, the importance of faith is what I learned and gathered and taught me at that point was just understanding the importance of it and how it'll get me through my daily struggles. Growing up, my parents divorced and I was raised by my mother. And I think if anything, that taught me resilience. My mother is one of the people I will share later as one of the most influential women in my life. And so she, watching her raise 3 children on her own taught me the resilience and how important that is to kind of get through your daily struggles. I was raised in Killeen. I am a Killeen kangaroo, go Roos. And believe it or not, being raised in Killeen taught me something too. And so being raised in Killeen taught me about the endless boundaries of diversity. I will tell you that just being here and understanding cultural diversity and getting to see all of the different cultures and people and working with all different cultures has been a beautiful thing. And so just an endless boundary of diversity is what I've learned here being raised in Killeen. Earlier, I mentioned I'm a mother of 2 just absolutely perfect boys, perfect in my eyes. I'm a little biased, but they are just absolutely perfect. And being a mother to them really brought in just love and patience and taught me just the importance of love in a different way. It was a love that I could not and ever had before. And so that love was very special from my boys. I was a wife for 20 years, now an ex-wife for about a year. And I was married to a good man. I learned from him a lot about friendship and about love. And so things just didn't work out between the 2 of us, but he is a good man and we'll find love again. I guess 2005, I was diagnosed with lupus. And since then, it is a daily struggle for me. Most people don't know that about me. I do try to keep that to myself, and now I'm talking about it on Facebook Live. But it is part of what's made me. It is part of my tapestry. And so I do want to share that is something I do struggle with daily. And some of the things that has taught me, it's not been a crutch for me. It has been strength and perseverance. And those are the things that I have certainly learned from dealing with lupus every single day. I have been a paramedic for 24 years. And I would say that that time frame in my life has taught me compassion, has taught me kindness, and that's important these days. Just being kind to everybody you come in contact with, it makes a big difference. I've been an educator for 20 years, and being an educator has taught me about the passion for educating others is something that I absolutely love to do, is to educate and be a part of people's future. I am currently a doctoral student. And this is just crazy to me because I thought I was done with education and learning myself. And one of the things I'll share with you later is never stop learning. But I did decide to go back to school last year and start my doctoral program. And I am looking at getting a doctoral in higher education leadership, and we'll kind of see where that takes me. But one of the things I have learned from being a doctoral student has been courage, because it was a lot to go back to school after having kids and having a good profession and making the decision to go back to school. So courage, determination, and obviously opening up ideas for the future. What opportunities are there for me for the future? Supervisor. So that has been just an awesome title and position for me. I think some of the things that being a supervisor has taught me is appreciation for individuality. Just because everybody brings something to the table, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever that looks like, they bring it to the table. And so I love the fact that there's just so much individuality, at least here in my department, that I get to work with every day. And then, of course, the new chapter in my life of just starting to date and being a girlfriend and just kind of having that renewed vision of a relationship. That has been an experience. It was a little scary at first, but that is going well as well. So, so that's kind of the titles that I've had in my life, and what I've learned from each one of those. I will tell you that if you said to me, what is the most influential factor in my life, it would be my faith. That is where I find my strength, my peace, my hope. And like I shared earlier, I do have some women in my life that are very influential. And I would say that they absolutely have been a part of helping me grow into who I am today. My grandmother, my mother, my sister, some of the leaders I've worked under, and I would say my colleagues and some of the physicians I've worked with are all a part of helping me become who I am in this role as a leader. Let's see, the other thing you wanted me to kind of talk a little bit about was what I thought makes a strong leader. I would say that some of the things that I think make a strong leader is building others up. That is important. You know, some people have love languages that is one of their things. They need words of affirmation, and building them up makes them perform better, and it helps you too. So, you know, talk about efficiency, and so I would say building others up is certainly something that a leader, a good quality in a leader would have. Knowing who you are, sticking to what you believe, those are very important. Sometimes you get told no, and if you know anything about me, I don't do well with no. And so I typically have to find a workaround, whether that is, okay, so you're saying maybe later, or you're saying I just need to come up with a different way. But I would say that I don't do well with no. I do stick to my guns, and I'll find another way. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that when I go into some of my the awards in my life that I felt were very challenging to overcome. And then the last thing I think is just maintaining positivity. Positivity as a leader is very important, especially in those times with when things just aren't looking good and things are getting heavy and it's overwhelming. And I am a very positive person. I do look for the positivity in different situations. You can see my sign back here. It's a great day. And so I want everybody that walks in just to know, hey, we're starting out here, and anything else is we're going to deal with it. So we're going to start out with a great day, even if it's a Monday or if it's Friday, which is one of our favorite days. So, so we're always starting out with a great day, and that's what I want my faculty and students to see when they walk in. So positivity is very important as a leader. Some of my personal goals in reference to what do I try to do in my life to kind of manage and perform in this position. I would say what I told you earlier, never stop learning. That is really important. Continue your learning. But wellness is the other thing. And Cindy, you and I were talking a little bit earlier about donuts and how wonderful they are. And we love donuts. Unfortunately, they're not in our wellness structure. And so as good as they are, we might have to stick to yogurt, frozen yogurt instead of ice cream and those type things. But I do practice good wellness with my mind, body, and soul. In fact, one of the faculty that I work with, she sent me something actually this morning, and that was Miss Professor Viola Crowder-Mosier. She sent me this thing this morning, and it says, if you don't take time for your wellness, you will be forced to take time for your illness. And that was by Joyce Sunato. And that is so true. You know, we have the opportunity now to take care of ourselves. So guys, the weather's getting better. So get out there and start walking and enjoying your time there. And then the other thing I would say as a personal goal for me is just being kind. I will be honest though, that if you get in front of me and you're not going the speed limit and the speed limit is higher than what you're going, I do tend to not be kind in my mind. I don't say it out loud. I just not kind in my mind. And I try to be kind in every situation, but certainly if you are driving too slow in front of me, that does get under my skin. Some of my friends will laugh at this, but if you're in the 15 items or less aisle, and you have 25 things in your basket, I am not being kind in my mind. I'm thinking, okay, why are we in this line? And I'm not kind in my mind. But outside of some of those little things that get under my skin, I am typically very kind. And what comes out is kind. It's just what I'm thinking is not kind. So the masks have helped with covering like what I'm really kind of maybe masking behind my face. And so but anyways, being kind is really, really important for me. And so I do want to just touch on, I thought I'd just bring in two things that I have overcome with some difficulty here at the college in reference to two projects that I worked on that I was told no. And I already told you how I deal with no. It was, we're going to find a way, just a different way, but we'll find a way. And so one of those was starting an EMT class in Europe. That was a challenge. It's a different country. We are a state approved, nationally accredited program here at Central Texas College. And so it was, it really was a stretch to take a healthcare provider training to another country. And through all of the accreditations and all of the approvals that were needed and the testing that's required for our soldiers. But it was really important for our military to have a place where they could do EMT training and do it overseas, where they were primarily in, in Europe, and they were there on, whether it's TDY or training or whatever they were there for. We wanted them to have an avenue to advance their careers there. And so that was a very difficult task because you had so many people that were involved in that. And, obviously the outcome was we were successfully able to get a program started there. But that was a struggle for me because it was knowing who to contact, knowing what permissions to have, and of course the determination that you do want to help a specific population there, because it wasn't just the soldiers, it was their dependents that were there as well. And so we wanted to have something healthcare related, for them to be able to take overseas. It also was something they could bring back to the US when they did come back. And so it was something really, really important. And I would say that was something that that was a project that the college acknowledged was a significant project, and they awarded me the Employee of the Year award for that. Actually, the Chancellor Award. I'm sorry, I received the Chancellor Award for that project, and it was successful, and it's still running today. And that was started many years ago, and so I'm happy to share that that is still going for our soldiers. And then another project that I worked on that received recognition was the military transition program for our soldiers here at Fort Hood. And so we were able to provide a program for our military soldiers to be able to transition out of the military as 68 Whiskeys, get credit for some of that training, and be able to advance their certifications as paramedics, so that when they did get out of the military, they were able to seek jobs that paid enough to support their families, because that's a problem. They get out at 68 Whiskeys, they have EMT training, but there's tons of EMTs out in the community, and what we needed was more paramedics. And so this was an avenue for them that we were able to secure for them that required a lot of work, a lot of perseverance. A lot of people had to be involved in this, and thankfully that program, with some modifications, has continued to this day. And that was what was mentioned on the autobiography as the Congressional Award. Representative John Carter acknowledged that and provided me a certificate. And it was really, it was very challenging. However, it was successful. And being in this position has allowed me to have these successes, but it's because of who I've surrounded myself with, and having the right point of contacts and the right people to continue, persevering with me. And so, so I'm happy to say that those two projects, both involving the military, were very important to me as a leader to secure for them. And we're not done. We've got all kinds of things in the works and plans for all of our populations, but those specifically were for the military. And we're happy that those are still continuing today. And so I think one of the last things I want to talk to everybody about, unless we're going to have questions and that type thing at the end, was just a message for the future. This is just for men and women, and I know we're celebrating Women's Month, but guys, you're not forgotten. You're just as important. But in this celebration, I do want you to know that there have been also men in my life that have made a significant impact in my life too. And thank you for those that are listening. You were a part of my life and molding me as well. But in celebration of Women's Month, that is why I mentioned just the women, but you also are very important in my life. And my stepdad was somebody that came into my life after my father had left and my mom remarried, and he's my dad, and everybody says, oh, that's your stepdad, because he is white complected, right? And so, when you stand me up next to him, obviously I, might be the stepdaughter. And so he is an amazing man and has been a father figure to me, and thank you, Dad. And so there's other men in my life that my grandfather and just have been wonderful in my life. And so so thank you guys. You are appreciated as well. And so the message I think for the future is for those of you that are watching that are saying, how do you do this, and how do you get past some of the things that you've overcome in your life? And really, I'll tell you that what I have done to overcome the struggles in my life is it's a mental game. And for me, it's looking at my life not as a struggle. The things that have come up in my life have not been struggles. Those have been hurdles. They've been things that I just have to overcome. I just have to get over them, around them, under them, through them, but it's happening. And so for me, mentally, that is what I have set for myself ever since I was young. And once you start thinking that way and stop making excuses, then you are able to kind of push through mentally to overcome those things. Everything that I have set my mind to, I've either completed, set after, or I'm still working on and not going to give up. And so I would say to you, don't look at it as a struggle. Look at it as just a hurdle, and work your way through it. Because if you really want it and you really want to do it, you can do it. And I would tell you, stop dwelling in the past. You know, that's one of the things I've had to do is I have to let go of the past. And although the past was a part of shaping me, my friend says that it's not made me who I am today in reference to moving forward to the future. And that's what I would say is really important. I did hear a speaker a while back, and he said, have you ever sat in your car and realized that your windshield is bigger than your rearview mirror? And kind of thought about that for a minute, and I was like, you know, he's right. My windshield is a little bit bigger than my rearview mirror. And he was talking about that's because behind us is so little and insignificant that the rearview mirror is a lot smaller, because what's important is what's in front of us, what's forward, what's future. Our past doesn't matter anymore. Let's move forward and don't dwell on that. And you're not going to get to go back to that. So you might as well go forward, look forward, drive forward. That's important. Drive forward, because what's in front of you is what matters, not what's behind you. And I would say that what's in front of you might be, just might be, the biggest opportunity that you have. And when you see that opportunity and you can grab that opportunity, grab it. There's so much opportunity out there, especially for those of you that are wanting to go back to school. So many opportunities for you. And so I would say to you, what's in front of you matters, and it could be the biggest opportunity that you have. So good luck with that. Cindy, that was kind of all I had in reference to what I was going to share, unless there's questions or anybody has anything else they'd like me to share about.
Well, let me first see if Lee has any question. The viewers have any questions.
There are no questions on Facebook at this time.
Okay, well, I have some questions.
Okay.
So you spoke about your mom, you spoke about some great role models, and you obviously are living what you say, you know, you need to do. Think positive, you know, don't dwell in the past, just keep jumping over it, find ways. Do you credit these attributes of your, you know, of your personality to any one of your role models in particular? Like, are you showing us the way your mom was, or do you have anyone in particular that you're modeling? Because you obviously are loved in your department. So
thank you.
you're a wonderful mom to everyone else, but anyone in particular?
I would say absolutely the two closest women in my life are my mother and my sister. And, you know, my mother, with her just being able, through adversity, able to just shine like she does and be such a strong woman. You know, being married to a man for very long and then going through his infidelity and having to raise 3 children, and starting in a place where, although it was a home at one point, she was there by herself, and me having to step up to be that second parent to my brother and sister, being very low income, not having things. I mean, at the end of the month, maybe we couldn't even afford McDonald's. And so it was a real struggle in reference to just being raised in that manner, and just living on very little. And she made it happen, whether that meant, it wasn't, you know, oh, poor me. It was, okay, I need a second job. Okay, I need a third job. And there were times where she was working 3 jobs, and but she was getting it done. And there was no excuses. It has to be done. And so, gosh, so many things she taught me through all those experiences. And were they hard when we were going through them? Absolutely. But as I look back again, part of that masterpiece and creation of tapestry. That was all part of it, because today here I am, and here, here is the result of it, and my sister, who has two beautiful little girls, and having to raise them on her own, and she's a single parent, and she just does it. She makes it work. She, goes to work. She's very successful in her job, and she's doing a wonderful job of raising her two girls. And again, having my mom as that example, she's also a very strong woman. And so we are very close. And so I would say they are the two most influential women in my life.
That's awesome. And then I also hear a lot of gratefulness. You just seem extremely grateful for everything with a big smile on your face. Do you feel that that's part of your success, is calling it for what it is, amazing, and something that is been a gift, but a hard worked gift?
I've heard that before. I've heard, Tammy, every time we see you, you're smiling. Do you ever have bad days? Do you ever have days where you're not smiling? And I would say, I am very grateful for everything. I have worked for everything that I have. Nothing has been given to me. But in saying that, I also understand the importance of being in the moment. And if I came to work and showed how I really feel, then that may be discouraging to somebody, or that may make them feel like, okay, maybe today's not going to be a good day, or maybe it's not going to be a great day. Or I guess as a leader, what it is you're coming with your game face, and you are coming with the face of, it's happening today, and we're going to make this a great day, whether I'm having a bad day or not. And when I go home and it's my time, I might just throw myself on the couch and just, either work it out, cry it out, go to the gym and work it out. I mean, whatever I have to do to overcome that. And the next day is just a brand new day. And so in front of my colleagues and friends, typically it is what you see every single day. I'll have a smile on my face, and we're going to make this happen, and it is going to be a great day. But at home and behind the scenes, and my closest friends know that some days are rougher than others, and some days I'm not feeling all that great, and some days, man, there's been a lot of things that have happened in this office. And so behind the scenes and at home, absolutely, I have some days that maybe the smile isn't as big as it is now. It might be a little smile, or it might be no smile at all, and I have tears crawling down my face. So I do have some bad days, but it is very important to me when I am around my colleagues and here at work. I'm being watched, and they trust in me to be that stronghold, and that's what I want to be for them. And so, yeah, there's a case where not so good days, but I don't usually show it.
Well, and one word that I picked up that you said a lot in the beginning of this was kind.
Yeah.
And in your, in the allied health field, kindness can go a long way. And that, when I first met you, and I sat in your office, and you were kind to this person who was just coming to talk to you from the library. So do you feel that that's big, a big factor, or a something that is important in someone's tapestry to be in that field?
It is, because you are the person they see in some of their most difficult moments. So when you're a healthcare professional, whether you're in lab sciences where you are running tests for somebody that may change their life forever, or you are a nurse that you are there by the bedside or caring for somebody that their life has just been turned upside down, or you are a paramedic where you're getting on scene and somebody has just had a terrible accident and they're looking to you to save their life. there's no other way to be than compassionate and kind. And you learn that so early on in this profession that these people are looking at you with a need, with a desire for you to help them. And you just have to be kind, and you have to understand that this is their moment of urgency, their moment of need, their moment of desperation. And you may be the one thing between life and death for them. You might be the last person they see. Maybe their family weren't able to be there. If this is the last person they see, what do you want them to remember? What do you want them to know? What do you want to tell their family? You want to be able to say, I held them until they passed. I held their hand until they passed. I hugged them until they passed. Just you want to be kind. And, and over the years, I've learned that just being ugly is just not going to get you too far, being kind to people, even when they're so ugly to you, because there's some ugly people out there that have bad days every day. And you have to wonder to yourself, man, what is going on in their life? But I will tell you that just being kind to people gets you further, and it's what people will remember. And that's what you want. You want them to remember that you're approachable, that you'll listen, and that if nothing else, you'll do what you can to help support them in whatever they're trying to do. So yeah, absolutely. Being kind is, like I said, it's one of my personal daily goals to do. Is at the end of the day, was I kind to everybody? Whether it was in my mind or verbally, I try to be kind all the time. Just don't put me in that 15 item or less aisle at HEB. Don't put me there and put 20 things in your basket. That'll get me. But outside of that, yeah, that is my thing. Just be kind to people. Be good to people. One day you might need that person, so be kind to them.
Well, it's so funny. I have a picture of the person passing out in the line in front of you, and now in the grocery store that has 20 items in their basket. What are you going to do? No, I'm kidding you. It looks like we have a question. So, Lee, you want to call the question? Say the
Yes,
question.
they said, does CTC adjust to the Army life?
Okay, so I can speak about the health professions department. I know CTC as a whole absolutely does try to take care of our military, and I know our faculty here at CTC also try to work through schedules and training and trying to get our military in and adjust to when they do start a class and maybe they get sent for training. And I have a student right now in one of my Homeland Security classes that is started class just this past week and has a training coming up. And do I need to drop? And it was, no, you don't need to drop. Let's work with you. So I would say it depends on the faculty member, but as a college, I know that that's something that our administration absolutely supports, is for us to be flexible with the military and try to help them. Here in our healthcare programs, we do have some programs that are more flexible than others. Some of our programs, such as nursing, does require that you be here every day, and it's something that you would have to look at a night and weekend program that we do have. We have a vocational nurse night and weekend program. But outside of that, you really would, for a health professions group, you would actually have to it just depends on the program that you pick.
Okay. Hopefully that answered your question. Do we have any other questions, Lee?
No.
Okay. Well, Miss Samarripa, I think that the department chair for the health sciences department at CTC is perfect for her job. You have shown us the epitome of a leader, of
Thank you.
someone who cares about not only the college and her students, but humanity. That's a lot on your shoulders, especially, dealing with daily pain and daily problems. But I now see why your department truly does love you. I mean, I can
Aw.
tell right away that you're like everybody's hero over there.
Oh,
So,
well, thank you. That was very kind. Thank you.
oh, well, I can be kind too.
See, you were listening. You learned something today. Yay. Yeah, I mean, just make it your daily thing. We're just going to be kind all the time and just keep all the negativity. We can keep that at home on our own. But yeah,
Yes.
being kind is so important.
Well, I want to thank you for
Absolutely.
taking time. I know you're busy, and especially on a Monday, you're very busy over there, so we won't keep you. But thank you so much for coming to talk with us today and sharing your life story. Uh, women in allied health and anyone in allied health, I commend you. I get queasy when I have to put a band-aid on. So without people who are willing to do the bloody stuff, it's you're what keeps us going. So thank you for coming to speak with us today and tomorrow. Everyone, I hope you will check with us tomorrow. We have Tanika Patrick, and she will be talking to us about women in behavioral health. So we're going to have health a second day in a row. Make sure that you come, join us at noon. And today is a beautiful day outside. So, everyone, go enjoy the weather and be kind. Don't give up. And I don't know if I should tell everybody, but don't say no either. Don't take no either.
That's right. Push through it. Push through it. Make it happen. Either work around it or, come up with another solution. Don't take no. Just
All right.
find the
All right.
workaround.
All right. Well, thank you guys. And hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. So, you guys have a good day.
Bye-bye.